Startup just lost its most genius computer science.
Has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office.
I'm really going places in my office.
Count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's Zip.
News and weather brought to you this hour by Flora Animal Hospital, where we treat your pets like our own. Visit our website, floraanimalhospital.com.
Who controls the Jackson Airport? Today, sunny and 63. Tonight, clear and 37. Friday, sunny and 58. Mid-60s Saturday. With news on 103.9 WYAB, I'm Chris Davis. Jackson will no longer have majority control over the airport. A court is throwing out the lawsuit that had put on hold for 8 years a new law which makes a new airport board, with Jackson's mayor and city council getting only one appointment each. Mayor Lumumba and others have said Republicans were trying to control the airport in a majority black and Democratic city. But the city did get a win. The lawsuit against the city by Retro Metro, the owners of Metro Center Mall, was dismissed. They claimed discrimination when the city terminated its lease and left the mall. The city says it was because of rats and no AC. A guilty plea by Torrance Mayfield, a former candidate for Hinds County Sheriff and a former Jackson police officer. He admits to lying to federal investigators about selling a rifle to a convicted felon. The same person Marshawn Chrysler was convicted of selling guns and ammo to.
It is absolutely essential that Congress provide emergency assistance for agricultural producers before the end of this year.
Mississippi farmers took a big hit from the drought this year, and Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith is asking Congress to help with some money to help make up for the losses. Otherwise, some farmers could go out of business, she says. She's also talking about disasters in other states. A 57-year-old person from Lake Cormorant died in Tunica County Tuesday night just after 8 when that person tried to cross Highway 4 and was hit by a car. The Highway Patrol IDs that person as Tel Raquel Landaverde. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and are not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
And now back to the show, brought to you by your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, Robbie Gray in Florida.
Biblical worldviews, passionate political talk, and classic Southern tradition.
And it's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes.
You're in a good fight with Jameson Haygood.
I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get it on my own.
Serving on the front lines of the American culture war.
You want me on that ball. You need me on that ball.
Via the WYAB airwaves.
Same dying I'm talking about. It's living.
And hello, everybody. It's not Jameson Haygood. It's Chip Matthews filling in for Jameson Haygood today. Glad to be here. He'll be out. He'll be back tomorrow morning. And then, of course, we're going to talk about everything you want to talk about that is on your mind. The telephone number is 601-879-0002, 601-879-0002. Let's talk about politics. Let's talk about the districts in Mississippi that need to be redrawn. Let's talk about coming up in January, we're putting people on the ballot to run for office for city elections. We've taken over the state. We've taken over the United States. You know, the people. And when I say the people, I'm not talking about just the Republican Party. The people took back the United States in this latest election when they told everybody that Donald Trump is the new direction and that's where we're going to go. And then Trump is putting together a cabinet like nobody's ever seen before. And that's what the people want. There, the dissension, if you don't like it, you need to be making phone calls. But the reality is, people are loving it. And, and of course, none of this happens till January. They're not in charge till January the 20th or whatever. But for now, we're making moves. And then the Democrats on the way out the door are saying, okay, well, let's send these missiles over into Russia and let's do this. We're gonna do some things to mess up the Republicans on the way out to where Trump for his first 2 years, because basically he's a lame duck president. So what he doesn't get done in the first 2 years is while he's got the Congress and the House, while he's got both of them, he's got Congress and the Senate and everything. We got to move forward, and we got to hit the ground running on day one in order to change the things that need to be changed in America. Now, on the other hand, we are here in Mississippi, and in Mississippi, we have not had this wave to fix things. I mean, we say we have a supermajority of Republicans in office, but do we? Do we have people that won't change? Do we have people that want to cut taxes, cut the red tape? Do we want to go in the right direction? Do we want to eliminate this? I mean, during the last few years, let's say we created a new department a few years ago for broadband, in rural areas. And yes, we need internet in all these areas and this, that, and the other. But all you had to do was pick up the phone and call Elon Musk. Yeah, he's got satellites up there. We don't have to put up all these towers everywhere and all of this. All we have to do is tell Elon, take care of it, sign a contract, give him some money, buy what you need, and it would work. If a hurricane comes through, guess what? They still work because the satellites are up in the air. They're not affected by the weather. They're not going to fall down in the middle of the night. Energy or battery backup, all that doesn't matter because the satellite works. The satellite works. And sooner or later, we'll all be on satellite rather than antennas from point B to point C. There won't be bad reception from bad tower sites. I mean, things are changing at a rapid pace, and we need to get ahead of the game rather than just react to the game that's being played. We got to start thinking about the future a little bit more. Y'all, I don't believe y'all understand how much energy we don't have in Mississippi, how much power we don't have to do the little things. And when Amazon Web Services comes on, all of a sudden you're going to hear it just, and they're not going down. Your house will be in the dark, but our house, the Amazon Web Services and all that, that's not going to go down. They're going to put as much power as they can everywhere else. And now look at that big, Canton was without electricity for pretty much, it went out at 4:00 in the afternoon one day and didn't get back on to 2 or 3 in the morning. And it was the whole town. And they said it was a tree on 43 or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, there's a big old solar farm just north of Canton that happens to be on the same site where they were at one saying there was going to be an airport, which I guess that was really their undercover engineering project for this solar panels, because you didn't hear anybody in Madison County complain that they were putting in 4 or 5 miles of solar panels into Madison County. You didn't hear any of that like you heard when it happened in Raymond. And where cotton once growed, we have solar panels in Madison County on 43. And there's a ton of them. Geez, there's a ton of them. And you look at it and they're planting trees where the trees will grow up. You won't see it. But there's solar panels are out there. And I think that the plan is to put the people that own the houses, and it works if it works. But I think they want to put the people on the solar panels where they'll have more power for industry on the more traditional ways we get power into the state. And I believe that is the plan that we don't know about as the people. I believe that is what they're planning because, your house, a house service could be 200 amps, 300 amps, 400 amps. It doesn't take that. And the only thing really running in there at your house right now is a refrigerator, TV, this, that, and the other. That ain't pulling any power. You're not pulling, maximum power. So basically you could live off solar power and this, that, and the other, but you're going to pay for it, but it is not. We don't know how reliable the battery backup, this, that, and the other. We don't know the aspects of what it's going to do to the green space out there, which we care about our farmland, and that is most important to us in Mississippi. So we have subtracted a whole bunch of farmland to build this, so it better be worth it. That's all I got to say. And somebody paid for it. I don't know who paid for it. I'm sure the government puts a lot of money into it right now. And green energy, it's good, it's bad, it's what it is. We don't care as long as we have power. That's the sad thing. We don't care. It's just like our politicians. We don't care as long as they're not coming at the door knocking on and talking to me. We don't care. That's why we don't go vote, because we don't care. We don't care as long as it doesn't interfere into our world. And y'all, it's all about to interfere into our world. Everything is about to interfere into our world. And the state needs to be the next thing that the people take back, because the people do not have any power to do anything. And everybody will say, well, you can go vote. Well, not now. You got 4 years. You can't fix it now. And by the time we get around to fixing it, it may be too late. We don't have a ballot initiative. That's real important, People cannot speak. We cannot do what we need to do. We don't listen, so we got to figure out how to get into the State House downtown and talk to these people. You've got people talking about school choice. You got people talking about raising taxes. You got people talking about health care. There all these things that they want to put on us. But we don't really have a voice in it. We hired a guy. He went. You thought he's a good guy. He's a Republican. Next thing you know, he's voting for some of this stuff that you don't want and against stuff. And you're going, what do we do? What do we do? It's like Michael Guest went all the way up to Washington. And he has done some things that some of us just do not care for. But nobody's listening to us. They're watching that money roll in. And they don't care. They just spend it. And then we say, well, Michael's there. Nobody ran against him this time. So I guess everybody's happy. Well, it isn't like we turned out 100% of the vote either. People aren't showing up to vote to do what we need to do. So you need to find it on yourself, and you need to think about it yourself. What do you need to do to make a change in your community? Because all elections are local. The presidential election is a local election here. You go, oh, no, Chip, it's not. No, every small vote counts. That's why they get out and beat the streets, because they understand the system is run by the people. But the people that get elected say the people don't have anything to do with this. We run things. Well, we got to take that back. We got to flip that around. We got to make it happen. We'll be back and talk more about that. If you got something on your mind or want to talk about the subject, 601-879-0002. We'll talk about everything. Just give me a call. 0002. We'll talk about everything. Just give me a call.
1039 WYAB.
Eating at a seafood buffet is a classic Southern tradition, but finding one with fresh, delicious food is hard to do. Well, I found a seafood buffet where everything tastes good. It's Four Corners Steak and Seafood, but it's not just fresh catches from the sea. Come in for perfectly cooked ribeyes, sirloins, and chops from the grill. Make it a routine to stop in before or after the big game. Open for dinner Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays at 4:30. That's Four Corners Steak and Seafood, right off Highway 25 on the way to Starkville. Let's go.
The world is in crisis, with political unrest and financially unstable countries trying to print their way to prosperity by taking on trillions of dollars of new debt. It's incredibly concerning. That's why you need to own silver as a hedge. So protect yourself from the chaos. Invest in stability with Hard Asset Management. Call now and get your free Hard Asset Management information kit on how easy it is for you to own silver. 844-426-4653. 844-426-4653.
The Flora Methodist Church is a proud sponsor of Tri-County Academy Athletics. You're welcome to join us each week for Sunday School at 10 and service at 11. The Flora Methodist Church is a family of believers making disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world.
If you volunteer in your community, you understand what it means to serve others. At Farm Bureau Insurance, our agents serve Mississippi by helping folks like you protect what's important, not just your prized possessions, but the happiness and well-being of your family. Farm Bureau Insurance is headquartered right here in Mississippi with local agents in your community.
Ask me, Robbie Gray, about Farm Bureau's auto, home, and life options. 601-879-3699. Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space, home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
An American home just doesn't seem complete without that flag hanging from the pole on the porch. And where do you get that flag? In Jackson, it's at a complete flag source. I-55 North. You'll find U.S. and Mississippi flags in all sizes. And yes, that new Mississippi flag is available along with international flags and all state and territorial flags. They can build your flagpole and repair that ragged old flag. It's at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
859-8596. Small town music, come on, hit it. 859-8596. Call before you're home. That's the trick.
Hey, this is Frazier. We are only open Friday and Saturday or by appointment, but still alive and kicking. Call, text, or email for more info. Thanks for your support, and please call before you haul.
601-598-596. Small town music, come on, hit it. 859-8596. Call before you haul. That's the truth. Shop our used inventory in the convenience of your own home online at www.smalltownmusic.com. They say if it just like a Popeye said, keep your mouth shut and you'll be fine.
And we're back on the Jameson Haygood show, The Good Fight. I'm Shub Batsy, who's sitting in for Jameson today. And we got all this country music going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that reminds me, and it ain't country music. Cheap Trick is coming to Brandon along with Rod Stewart. Actually, Rod Stewart's the headliner and Cheap Trick is opening. But, you know, I was a Cheap Trick fan. I was a Rod Stewart fan. Rod Stewart's good stuff. Good stuff. Cheap Trick. The Dream Police. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. Okay. Anyway, that isn't until August 7th, but tickets are going on now, and I guess that makes a great Christmas gift. That's a good. Somebody said, why would they be advertising so soon? I said, have you ever paid for a concert? I've paid for quite a few concerts. As soon as you can get the word out and hopefully sell all those tickets, you know, you don't care if anybody shows up. You just want to make sure you sell all the tickets. Then you want them to show up where you'll have a profit. But anyway, as we get to talking about everything going on, I was listening to the news on the robot surgery of a lung transplant. And he did 3 of them. I'm going, so was that robot surgery, was that assisted by a doctor? Or did it just, let the robot do it? Just send them in there. That's a good question. Is AI taking over the medical field that way? But anyway, let's go back to politics. Something I know a little bit about, not much about, but I say I act like I do. Okay, so absentee voting is going on right now. Absentee voting in this judge's race. And I hope you're all informed. You need to take the time to be informed when you go vote. It's very important to know how to vote. Anybody want to talk about the judge's race or anything, y'all just give us a call. We'll talk about it. But you got to vote this week. The election is next Tuesday. So that means you got this week, and then you'll have Saturday till noon, which Ole Miss fans won't have till noon because you got to get back in front of the TV in time to watch the game kicks off at 11. as Ole Miss takes on Florida. But anyway, you got to get by a TV to watch that. But anyway, they'll be open till noon on Saturday. And then, of course, Monday there'll be no absentee voting, and Tuesday will be the election. And everybody's planning everything else in the world, and elections are important. So y'all find time to go vote absentee. Find time to go vote on election day if you don't vote absentee. But I'm afraid this race is going to be, if you look at all the people that voted in the last election in these counties that are involved in this, you're probably going to have less than a third of that, probably less than a quarter of that show up to vote in this judge's race, which is, it's sad because it's important. All elections are important. Understand that. Primaries are important to make sure you get the right person going forward. And then general elections are important. And then special elections are important. You need to always exercise your right to vote. Too many people died to give you that right. So get off your butts and vote. I'm tired of hearing that you don't. Like in Canton, for instance, we got taxes being raised. And I see where Tim Taylor has announced he's running for mayor. He's an alderman up there. I've met him. He was a little radical when we first started as friends, and then we got to where we get along. But I'll be running against you. He'll be running on the Democrat side. I'll be running on the Republican side. But change has to happen, and this is good for Canton. As long as Truly's not running, change is happening. Change is happening. But if you look at Canton Square, they're down to like 3 or 4 businesses now out of all those squares. And I don't know why some developer doesn't go in there and just think of it just like Renaissance and say, I'm buying all the buildings, I'm going to set them all up, and people are going to drive to our square and buy things. Because the people are there. The people, not in Canton, but the people that want to be there. I mean, you can go to Johnny's Two Rivers, and that place is packed all the time. And most of the people that are in there are not from Canton. So we got to change. We got to get out and vote. We got to do what we got to do. Got to work on the economic development. Look at all the business that have come to Canton. They say it's Madison County, but anyway, on the big site, you got the Amazon. You got the Amazon Web Services coming in. You got Coca-Cola, and no telling what else out there. You got the pot growing plants and all of that. You got to get out. And Canton hadn't built any new houses, so that is making a big difference. And then, of course, we haven't redistricted after taking in land all the way to Gluckstadt and all the way up to the North Canton exit. We took in all this land, and nope. The government doesn't want to redistrict anything, build new lines for alderman races. And then, of course, that lines there should have been changed. And then, of course, now let's look at the state. Okay, we just got through an election where we all realize Penny Thompson has 30 counties of the state. And the state only has 52 counties. No, is that right? Yeah. But anyway, it's 52. There's 52 additional counties. But anyway, I digress. We need to redraw these lines. And in Benny Thompson's district, I think it was 15 or 16 of those counties, he didn't win. He lost. It wasn't until they started dumping Hines County on us that things changed. And they changed late at night. And they're still, according to the records on the thing, still haven't counted them all. They still have not counted all the ballots. But that's the way it goes. And we need to work on our voting laws here in the state, but we need to work on these districts. They really need to redistrict the state. And if it's 4 congressional districts, it needs to be 4 congressional districts that are fair. I mean, 205, 300 miles to go from one end of the state to the other end of the state for one district. I-55 from Memphis to Louisiana. That's it. That's the left side, the west side is all Benny Thompson, plus 4 counties on the east side of I-55. And the counties that Ron Eller did well in were the counties up and down the interstate, just to let y'all know. The ones that were up and down the interstate. But then where they gerrymandered Hines County and took out Northeast Jackson, and then where they gerrymandered Madison County and took out Madison and Ridgeland, he lost. And he's going to lose because they took out the conservative vote. And conservative vote should not be, everybody's vote should be equal. You know, if you could have a room, like for instance, let's talk about that ethics committee. The ethics committee is 50-50, you know, 4 or 5 Republicans, 4 or 5 Democrats. One of them had to cross over in order to release that information on gets that they're trying to get out of there. But they're equally balanced. And basically in this state, we do not equally balance the counties. And why not? I mean, why do we go by, well, we need to weight it this way. We need to weight it black or weight it white. No, we don't. No, we don't. You need it to be equal. You need to just come down and think and quit thinking of people as color and think of people as people. And once we get the color out of our drawing of our districts and we get to people, we'll have a different state. Yeah, we might lose a few. We might win a few. But the big thing is the people need to be in control of the state, not the bureaucrats and the politicians. I mean, that's just fact. And the same people run for office, the same people get reelected because we get comfortable and do not want to get our hands dirty and get involved in it. We don't want it. We don't want to do that. Heck, you know, that guy's been our representative in Jackson for years. Has Jackson gotten any better? No. You know, how many representatives, and I'm talking about white representation, not black representation in Hinds County. I'm talking about nothing has gotten better in Hinds County in years. And we just keep putting the same people in. Some of these people are friends of mine. I've known them for years. And I just sit there and I look at it. I just go, you go all the way down to Jackson. You get that paycheck. You're working on that retirement, you know, and you don't want to fix election laws. You don't want, yeah, I mean, y'all going to scream and yell the first few weeks about what is a boy and what's a girl. Y'all going to scream and yell about should only Americans be allowed to vote in elections? What are we going to do to fix that? You know, what are we going to do to fix voter ID? Voter ID in Mississippi, you know, you can't look at the address or anything. You only can look at the picture and the name. So you can't question anything. And when they come in to vote, if you have some unsavory poll workers, which could be that have been working for 40 years in the same precinct and they have never ever turned in one single box completely right in all the elections they've done, and they'll just be scheduled to work there again because that's easier for the election commissioners who have the task of making sure. I mean, we should be pulling people's name out of a pool, not just saying this is District 1 and these are my people. This is District 2 and these are my people. Because even if I go look at the people in District 1, they're not doing it right. And in District 2, they're not doing it right. And that's just every county, because every precinct is important. In every precinct, there is something inherently wrong. I would say it's less than, I would say that statewide, 10% of the boxes that are counted are done right. 10% of the boxes that are counted are done right. And it's unreal to believe that you trust everybody to do it. And like for instance, you know, if you don't, you know, you go, oh, well, Benny ain't ever going to do anything. All he does is steal. Well, go out and vote him out. Right now we're working on the next 2 years. Right now, the campaign has already started for who's going to run against Benny and beat Benny in 2 years. And just like in January, your city people, it's time to change all them. That thought that Chuck, we know Chuck, well, he's getting a new stylish little, he's gonna be hanging with P. Diddy because he's going to jail, probably, allegedly. But he's going to get a new striped suit, and he'll get out, and he will finally get out. Probably if we can keep him in Jackson, we can finally get him out on one of the in Jackson to actually work to help the people and have him pick up trash on the side of the road. I mean, the media would be out there big if you took all of these crooks and put them on the side of the road and say, yes, You owe us some time, and I want to see y'all pick up the trash on the side of the road. Have them all out there. Stokes would show up and have a big time with that one. He'd say, here we are. They're finally cleaning up Jackson. There's Chokeway. There's Aaron. Oh, Jody Owens is helping out. It would be funny as hell. But anyway, I digress. We're going to take a quick break. And if you got something on your mind, you want to talk, 601-879-0002. This is Chip Matthews filling in for Jameson Haygood on The Good Fight. Be a part of The Good Fight. He's filling in for Jameson Haygood. Be a part of The Good Fight.
1039 WYAB.
Fox News commentary.
The battle of the congressional bathroom policy sadly was on my bingo card for 2024. I'm Tommy Lahren. More next.
Hey, Donald Trump Jr. here. Central banks are buying gold at record amounts, and the trend is accelerating in 2024. They see the writing on the wall. The dollar is failing. Is gold the answer for you too? To find out, get a free info kit from Birch Gold Group by texting the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to the number 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold, the only gold company I trust, right now.
Message and data rates may apply.
Been quite the week for bathrooms in Congress after South Carolina Rep. Nancy Mace introduced a resolution to prevent biological males from using women's restrooms at the Capitol. All hell broke loose. The issue was seemingly put to rest after Speaker Mike Johnson declared the sanctity of the women's restroom shall be maintained. Congressional freshman and lone trans representative Sarah McBride of Delaware has also agreed to comply with the bathroom policy. But something tells me this fight isn't over. And I'll be frank, I don't think biological males belong in female restrooms or in female spaces. It's a safety and a privacy issue for women that should be respected. However, I can't help but be annoyed that this issue has taken so much air out of the room. Don't members of Congress have bigger fish to fry and larger priorities to address than who gets to use what bathroom in the Capitol? Let's hope our leaders on both sides of the aisle can resist the urge to make headlines and get to actual work. I'm Tommy Lahren.
It's no secret the Honda and Acura vehicles are some of the best built and most popular vehicles in America. Both Clinton Body Shops are ProFirst certified to repair your Honda or Acura to the high standard of safety and appearance your car was designed to meet. Visit collision.honda.com and watch the videos that explain why it's so important to choose a body shop certified by North American Honda. In Clinton or in Richland, choose Clinton Body Shop. We work for you. We take pride in perfection.
A reminder from Dr. Bobby C. Pankey at Optical 2000. Have you met your vision insurance deductible, or do you have a use it or lose it plan? You still have time to schedule an end-of-the-year eye exam at Optical 2000. Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates in Clinton and Richland. To set up your end-of-the-year eye exam, click to call a clinic near you at optical-2000.com. Optical 2000, Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates in Clinton and Richland.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Jamie Creel.
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
The mama got a voice like sugar, it's so sweet and fine. Sister sister sing Amazing Grace. She right in time. They're laying poor Papa low in the ground that he worked and sold. Now they're waiting at the Jackson station for the train to roll.
And we're back on the Jameson Haygood show here on a Thursday. Oh, yeah, it's just Thursday. Jameson, I'll be back tomorrow morning. Of course, and Chip Matthews sitting in on the good fight where we got to fight. And, yeah, I'm just looking at the election, the numbers on the last election. Let's see. And this is the Ron Eller election. And what are we doing is I'm looking at the votes Ron Eller had compared to the Trump votes. So, for instance, in Madison County, Trump had 6,800 votes. Ron Eller had 2,000 votes. Now, in Montgomery County, Trump had 1,800 votes roughly, but Ron Eller had 3,500 votes. He won Montgomery County and had more votes than Trump. He also he won Panola County. Trump had 5,400 votes. Eller had 6,400 votes, an extra 1,000 people there, and then you go through and you go and look at a Mitt County. He won a Mitt County. Trump had 2,400 votes. Eller had 4,300 votes. Interesting. Adams County, Trump had 5,300. Eller had 3,800. Respectable. But I'm just saying, as you look at these numbers and go through them, and in Carroll County, let's say here's 1,200 votes for Trump, 2,900 votes for Eller. People are tired of Benny, but in the counties that Benny can control, he controlled. But there were counties here that the undervote for Eller and the undervote for Trump is amazing to me. I mean, if Eller is beating Trump's numbers by 1,000 votes in some counties, I mean, what the heck's going on? Do we have that many people that are not happy with Trump? Are there never Trumpers in the state? Is that why when we look at our makeup of people down at the Capitol, that we have people that just don't care about taxes and doing things? I don't know. Franklin County, Ron Eller won. He had 2,700 votes. Trump had 1,200 votes. Grenada County, Ron had 4,400 votes. Trump had 3,000 votes. But in Hinds County, Trump had 50,000 votes, and Ron only had 14,000. That's to be expected. Imagine. And then Holmes County, he got tripled up there. Trump did 4,000, and he only did 1,000. Humphreys County, 2,500 to 900. And then, but he won Issaquah County by a vote. Okay. And he won Lee County. Lee County, Trump only did 3,300 votes, and Ron did 4,900 votes. And another county that Ron won was Warren County. He beat Benny Thompson in Warren County. And we look at the Trump vote, it was 8,400. And we look at the Ron vote, and it was 9,300. So, I don't get this. And I don't understand why the Republican Party of Mississippi did not put $1 into that campaign. I know the Madison County Executive Committee did give $1,000 at the last minute, but the state party, the state GOP did not put one thin dime into the Ron Eller campaign. And they have put money, and then they have been all out to help in the judges race for people. And I sit here and I look at it and I go, win something. Go out and try to win something. The judges race is important, but I'm talking about in the Senate and in the House race, that was really important. Getting rid of Benny Thompson is really important. I mean, but y'all want status quo. Y'all don't want to fix anything. Y'all want what everybody else wants. As long as my world is not affected, I'm going to sit in my house and do nothing. It doesn't matter who we vote for, who we don't vote for. Let's go to the phones. WYAB, hello. What's up, Jim? How you doing? It's Timothy Jenkins.
So, did we ever find out for sure why the Mississippi GOP did not give any money to Ron Eller.
No, we have not. And I mean, other than me asking on this radio show, I hadn't gone right to the source and said something.
Now, didn't we get word or hearsay? And it may have just been hearsay.
Well, there's
it was $30,000 raised.
Yeah, there was two individuals that came up to us and told us that they had raised $30,000 and that we should be nice to them. But I mean, and we were not going to mention any names or anything. But they said they raised money for him, and none of it shook down to him, not to Ron Eller. Ron Eller didn't get $1, not a single dime. Not,
he had campaign contributions
that people
outside of his district.
That people earmarked. I mean, we know that he outside of his district, y'all. There were the group in Oxford and other counties. They were throwing events for him and raising money for him. Those people were actually doing voter registration drives in these northern counties. You know, they were going and doing things for him, and it showed. You know, and I just sit there and I'm looking at the numbers now. You know, Yazoo County he won, Yalobusha County he won, Warren County he won, Issaquah County he won, Washington County he did well. Okay. Grenada County he won, Franklin County he won, Mitt County, Attala County, Carroll County. You know,
I think he would have won Madison County if more of that district were in Madison County.
Yes, they purposely
don't want that.
Right, and the same in Hinds County. In Hinds County, they cut out Northeast Jackson.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't need any more votes in the other district for Michael Guest. And if you cut it up to where it at least made sense, to where a whole county was in this one and a whole county was in this one, and a whole county is in this one, you know, you could divide the state up a whole lot different than the way they did. North to south is not north to south on one side belongs to Benny Thompson, and north to south on the other side of the interstate belongs to 3 other congressmen. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And the population centers that I'm looking at here, you know, Montgomery's not that big, but Panola was big. You know, Panola's a big county, and Ron won.
Well, if you got the numbers, how big a difference is population in his district compared to the other 3?
I don't have those numbers. I don't have those numbers now.
We need to get that.
We need to get that. And we need a politician. I want somebody from the state to volunteer before I start coming asking, and I'm going to come ask some people to come with us when we go go through a ballot box. I want us to, we're going to go through some boxes for Ron, and we're only looking for information to help the government fix the voting problems that happen at each precinct.
But I think part of the problem we're running into is even if behind closed doors, if a politician tells you he doesn't like what's going on, he's too scared of losing his position to speak out for him.
That's correct. We got scared politicians. I've always said that. And they're only scared because they want to win re-election. You want to look at them and say, "Oh, I've been up here at the state capitol for Hinds County for 12 years, 14 years, 16 years." And you go, well, so for 16 years, this is what you've done. You look at this state, look at Hinds County, you've killed it. Give you a few more years.
I think I'm about to the point that the next primary we have, I will not vote for an incumbent.
Please don't. I mean,
because if all you're ever doing is making promises that's not getting fulfilled, you're not doing your job. Let somebody else step in.
And you know, the problem with running for campaigns, I've been thinking about things where, like in this judges race where people started to attack each other. I just sat there and I went, you know, you don't need to attack. In a judges race, you should basically you're running on integrity, on what you've done. Okay. And that's all you should be doing. And everybody, and both of them have been political for years. So they both have a record to run on your record. You know, that's it. And then like, for instance, if politicians in Hinds County ran on their record, nobody would be reelected. Any of them. None of them would be there. they'd rather come out and attack this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy. Well, and then, I mean, and then they've come in here and they're going to arrest a bunch of them, you know. And up there in Canton,
Well, we hope it's just more than just arresting.
Convicting.
Prosecuted.
I mean, because look at Madison County, you know, those three supervisors, you know, Casey Brannon and Trey Baxter don't even have a prayer against the wall of three that can do whatever they want to, and we have no power to do anything about it. We're the people, and we could vote them out, but in Gerald Steen's case, nobody ran against him. You know, but if we,
I guess,
and then the Jerry,
our representative was the last one to run against him.
yes,
Man, well, look, Chip.
yes, sir.
Keep on with a good fight. I got to go to work.
Okay, don't fall out of a tree.
And yeah.
Break a leg. Bye. Okay. But I mean, you know, things that are going on in this state, in this town, in this area are important. And voting in elections are the most important thing you can do. And you just sitting on the sidelines and not voting. I mean, get in your car today and go vote in the judge's race. I don't care who you vote for. Just go vote in the judge's race. In Rankin County, you got a county judge that you got to vote for. Go vote. You got to vote for the county judge and you got to vote for the federal judge. You know, get out and do, not federal judge, but the Mississippi Supreme Court judge. But get out and vote, because voting is important, and voting has consequences. So you got to get out and vote and do what you got to do. Be advised on what you're doing. Research it, figure it out. Don't just go vote for this person because somebody told you to. You know, endorsements are cheap. I mean, we watched that. And I mean, look at all the people that endorsed Kamala. How well did that work out for her? And she still owes $20 million to everybody who said, vote for me. But anyway, we'll be back with the last part of this hour. And we got another hour to go. And if you got something on your mind, you can call in and talk to us. And we're going to talk about this politics a little bit more. And we're going to get into it. And I'm going to be on you, because you're all stupid for not wanting to go vote. And those of you that do go vote, you're not stupid. Thank you for going to vote. But all you others, you know, we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. And we'll be back right after this. Talk about it. And
1039 WYAB.
Have you ever said to yourself, I'd like to go back to school to get my master's one day? Seize your someday today at MC. Hey, this is Ben Ingram, the voice of the Atlanta Braves, and this advertisement is easy for me to read because I get to talk about my alma mater, Mississippi College. MC offers graduate and professional studies programs that are designed to enhance your career and your future on your terms. Head to mc.edu. That's mc.edu today. Let's rise higher together.
Hey everybody, it's John at Two Gun Tactical. We're having Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So you come in and mention Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half price range fees. Hey, if you're a member, we're going to give you an extra free target just for mentioning Kim Wade show. Come on in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right that if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's twoguntactical.com. That's the number 2, guntactical.com.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repair? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy pork beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Line Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
I'm talking with real estate agent Rita Jensen. Rita, what does it mean to know the market?
It means you've done so much work in that one area that you're familiar with it for years on back. You know the houses. You've been in a lot of the houses. And you know what's been redone, what hadn't been redone. You know the areas of town that are maybe a little more desired. RitaJensen.net. RitaJensen.net.
Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health Mississippi.
If you're a parent or grandparent, you should know that even though Mississippi is ranked as the unhealthiest state in the country, we have the highest vaccination rate for our children and grandchildren. Many of us blindly trust the medical establishment, and now it's time to question vaccine safety. Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights is a grassroots organization working to educate the public and lawmakers about this important topic. Be informed. Go to mpvr.org. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest information. That's Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights, mpvr.org.
I love you more than I ever had before. But if I don't show it lately, just 'cause I'm a little bit crazy, don't think my days are...
It's the Good Fight. Jameson Haygood Show. Chip Matthews filling in today for Jameson Haygood. And this bumper music, man. I might become a country star if this keeps up. You know, everybody knows me for a little bit of rock and roll here and there. And I did country for a long time on the radio too. I did my gig. I worked at the country club, CCL, and we did country. Then, of course, claim to fame is I started Z106. They said it would never last. Now it won't die. And they're still playing the same records. I guess they're going to play them to every one of those musicians that are on those records are dead. They need to play some new records. There's still some new rock. Okay, guys? But anyway, here I am on a Thursday talking to you about your civic duty, what you want to do. You don't like to be told what you need to do. You're all sheep and you're following the wrong leader. You got to go vote. We got to get to where we're active in the process. In this coming up in January, this is all I'm going to talk about over the next few weeks is I want you to think about what you can do for your community. Ride around, see what you need done. Then when people are running for mayor in January, or they're running for city council or alderman like we do in Canton, or for a city judge position, the things that they should be working on are the things you need to ask them about when you see them at church or at the grocery store or whatever. And some of you have just decided to live at the house and just have everything delivered. You're going to have to re-engage into the community. You're going to have to re-engage back into life. You're going to have to be around people again. You got to be around people. You got to get out and look. You got to get out and see things. You're going, we got trees down in our backyard. We got this. We got that. We got potholes. We got this. You just can't say something about them. You got to hold the people you put in office accountable for them. And if they're not fixed, you need to vote for somebody else. And if you're the person that can get it fixed, you need to be the person on the ballot running for that position. There's no sense to keep paying people to lie to you. There's a point where the lie's in. You know, It's like carrying the garbage out at your own house. It piles up, it piles up, it piles up, and eventually you got to carry the garbage out. Well, that's the same things in politics. It's piling up and it's piling up and it's piling up. It piled up high in Jackson, piled up high in Canton. You got to carry the garbage out. Wherever the garbage is building up, you got to carry the garbage out. And these politicians, this is not a garbage. This is not don't just vote for the people driving around a garbage truck. Trump was worth it, but there's a lot of garbage in there. And that's what they were getting at. The Democrats knew that the House was getting full of garbage. That's why they didn't want Trump, because they were going to say Trump's a garbage. But then Trump came and picked up the garbage and moved it right out of Washington. He's got more to pick up. We need to do the same in our community. Of course, we're going to find out that in Jackson, it might be tougher because the garbage contracts there are unique. And but the feds are getting a bunch of them, and they're going to get them all. And hopefully they'll get it to Madison County and get all them that are involved in the Rudy Warnock case. And you got to understand, I don't think Rudy is the one to get. I think the politicians that took the money are the ones to go get. Now, you've got some that are already testifying to it. And you got Mike Espy, who's going to come into the Rudy Warnock trial and give convincing testimony. Well, if he's got testimony, then he had firsthand knowledge. If he had firsthand knowledge as a lawyer, what deal did you work? You're the king working the deal. And then, of course, you're still sitting there in Canton as the Madison County attorney for the Madison County supervisors. But, I digress. We got to get out. We got to get the garbage out. We got to get everybody who's ever told us a lie out of politics. And we have to, and that's the key. We don't want anybody lying to us anymore. We want to be the people, and the people run the country. The people run the city. All elections are local. Trump would not be in office if all the little people didn't vote for him. And that's just the way it works. We'll be back with more of the good fight on the other side of the news break. We will see you there. I'm Chip Matthews. Jameson Haygood will be back tomorrow. See you next hour.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. Court developments for the father who bought a gun his teenage son is accused of using to carry out a Georgia school attack.
Attorneys for Colin Gray appeared before Judge Joseph Booth after their client waived his right to appear.
We waived his presence. We appeared to sign for him. Pleaded not guilty.
And that plea was accepted by the court. The 54-year-old Gray faces 29 charges stemming from the September shooting that left 4 dead and several others wounded. Gray's 14-year-old son, Colt, pleaded not guilty at his arraignment last month. The teen is the alleged gunman in the Appalachia attack. Graham Carroll for CBS News, Atlanta.
The Illinois Supreme Court has thrown out the conviction of actor Jussie Smollett. He was found guilty of orchestrating a hate crime hoax after prosecutors initially dropped charges against him. New details have emerged from the 2017 California police investigation into Trump cabinet pick Pete Hegseth. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi.
This woman alleges he brought her to his room, he blocked her from leaving, took her cell phone, and then proceeded to have a sexual encounter with her that she said was not consensual. Police then spoke with several people, including the woman, but also a nurse at the hospital. And the nurse was actually the one who alerted them to this after she said the woman came to her days later, asked for a rape kit, said she believed she had been drugged as well.
Hegseth was not charged. The U.S. has condemned the International Criminal Court's decision to seek arrest warrants against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister, Yoav Gallant, for alleged war crimes in Gaza. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer.
The court said there were reasonable grounds to believe that Netanyahu and Gallant had intentionally deprived Gazan civilians of food, water, medicine, and electricity. The warrants are going to put both of them at risk of arrest if they travel to any of the 124 countries that are members of the court, but that does not include the U.S. or Israel.
Arrest warrants also issued for a top Hamas official. CBS's Jim Crisula has more on a death sentence that's set to be carried out here at home.
Carrie Dale Grayson is scheduled today to become the third person executed by nitrogen gas in Alabama. The 50-year-old man was one of 4 young men convicted of killing a 37-year-old woman who was hitchhiking through Alabama in 1994.
A significant report on existing home sales in October. Economist Lawrence Yoon of the National Association of Realtors.
Home sales increase not only month to month, but from 1 year ago. So this is a first annual gain in over 3 years.
And checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up more than 300 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before November 30th and you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is November 30th. So call now and you'll save even more. Here's the number. 877-64-BIBLE. That's 877-64-BIBLE. 877.
News this hour is brought to you by the Rusty Healy Agency in Madison. Call Rusty Healy or Landon Thompson at 601-856-3681 to request a quote or learn more.
The city loses one, but wins another. Sunny and 63 today. Tonight, clear with a low at 37. 58 for the high Friday and sunny. 64 Saturday. You got news on 1039 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis. For 8 years, the city of Jackson has held off a new law that says a new airport board would be created that would give Jackson's mayor and city council just one appointment each. It would essentially give the state majority control. A judge has been ordered to toss the suit that has stopped the board from being created. The win for Jackson is the dismissal of a lawsuit by the owners of Metro Center Mall, a company called Retro Metro. Last year, the city terminated its lease, saying conditions were too bad in the mall. Retro Metro claimed discrimination. Farmers need money now, says Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith.
Even if we passed a farm bill today, under the traditional farm bill structure, assistance would not reach the farmers in time.
She's asking for assistance for operations that lost money this year because of natural disasters, including Mississippi's drought and the hurricanes in other states.
And they did everything right, yet they will go out of business if they're able to unsecured financing.
2 people murdered in Jackson Tuesday. Sabrina Mulconry was one of them. She was killed during a fight over a stolen bicycle inside her house on Marydale Drive, says Jackson Police Chief Joseph Wade. The other was Roderick Raheem Jones, who was himself a homicide suspect. Former Edwards police chief who ran for Hinds County Sheriff, Torrance Mayfield, has pleaded guilty to lying to federal investigators over selling a rifle and ammo to a convicted felon, a case connected to the Marshawn Chrysler case. More news in 1 hour on 1039 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and are not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
And now back to the show, brought to you by your local Farm Bureau insurance agent, Robbie Gray in Flora.
Biblical worldviews, passionate political talk, and classic Southern tradition.
And it's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes.
You're in a good fight with Jameson Haygood.
I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get it on my own.
Serving on the front lines of the American culture war.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Via the WYAB airwaves.
Same dying I'm talking about. It's living.
You're in the good fight with Chip Matthews sitting in for Jameson Haygood today on WYAB. And Let's go to the phones. Let's see what's going on. Hello, WYAB. Turn down your radio. Are you there? You there?
Oh, I cannot hear.
You cannot hear? Can you?
Let me call back.
I got you. Okay. We'll get rid of you. But anyway, we're here and we're talking about the things. And I was sitting there listening to news and listening to Marshawn Chrysler being convicted. I mean, and then you saw where a lawyer, another person was picked up the other day. And it's just unique that all these people that we pick up in the news that are, you know, like the officer selling the gun and lying on the thing to give it to a felon. These things have to be watched, and these are the people we trust to run the country for us, and we need to go back and fix ourselves and think about who we're putting into office. Hey, let's go to the phone. What you got?
Hey, Jeff, it's Chris Siegel.
It's the Chris
Great show
Siegel.
today.
Thank you.
As I mentioned in the text message, I think you shine a good bit when you're in the studio by yourself. No disrespect to Taylor.
Okay.
But I think you seem to be more focused on what you're talking about, less distraction.
Okay, well, thanks. That's good.
Well, the thing that I've made my bones on since I retired from the FBI over 5.5 years ago is exercising my First Amendment right to petition and seek redress. It is something that I would say that our representatives are unfamiliar with, or at least inexperienced with, based on their reaction when I just ask a simple, civil, but cogent question.
And see, and part of that is because the people are not engaged. I mean, if you can run, if you can go to church on Sunday after being in Congress all week, let's say you fly back home, you go to church, and nobody asks you anything about what you did today. That's the problem. The people are not getting involved. We need to ask questions.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I've tried to encourage people to do is, you know, when you see your representative at the grocery store, at the ball fields, at church, ask them questions. Now, don't be disrespectful. You know, if they're having a quiet family time with their kids playing catch, don't just walk up and interrupt that. You know, be civil, be cordial. But on that same note, we have individuals that aren't elected representatives, but are in positions that significantly affect elections.
Yes.
And one of the things that we looked at in law enforcement is if a crime is committed, what was the intent? What was the intent and malice of forethought? Did the person do something or refrain from doing something that caused harm or broke the law? Now, I'm not accusing anyone of breaking the law, but I use the same analogy of intent, of what was the intent of having a representative from the Mississippi GOP state that, well, Ron Eller doesn't have a chance against Benny Thompson, so there wasn't the effort that was put in there. He did not get the support that could have swung this election.
And I mean, he wanted to go to the convention too, and was told you need to just stay home with your money because it's better served for you to spend your money here than to go to Wisconsin. And I was going, no, he could have gone up there and raised some money because the issue was on a national level, this is the guy that can get rid of Benny Thompson now because Benny Thompson wanted to get rid of Trump. So that would have been the place to go to raise money on a national level for Ron to run for office. And,
Benny Thompson, and I'll say this, also wanted to put Trump in the position where he could be murdered.
Right.
He wanted to remove his Secret Service protection. He led that charge.
Everything.
Getting back to the Mississippi GOP, how beneficial would it have been to an effort to unseat Benny Thompson in Mississippi to have Ron Eller on the national stage, getting an opportunity to possibly speak with high-profile individuals, to be interviewed on a national basis? You can listen to a number of shows out there on the radio where they interview a congressman from the middle of Idaho. To talk about, hey, you're trying to unseat this Democrat individual or this individual. Tell us about your campaign.
And
you get that momentum if you're shielded from it.
And Mississippi should be giving them all 4 congressmen. That should be one more seat in the House, one more buffer to make sure that we don't lose the House. And Mississippi, we don't care about that district. We just don't care. As Benny's district, I'll just leave him alone. And it's wrong.
My posit is in addition to exercising your First Amendment right to petition and seek redress against, with your elected representatives, it may be time to start asking some questions about what are we doing as a party within Mississippi to try to get candidates elected that support and defend not just the Constitution, but represent the platform. I like Mike Hurst.
Yes.
I like what he said when I heard him speak about we need to elect constitutional conservatives into office. Well, I don't think that, I think based on the evidence, Benny Thompson's definitely not a constitutional conservative.
No.
And why, but we only had one candidate running against him.
Well, you had three in the primary.
Yeah.
But
I mean, really, when you were talking about,
but when you get down to, but when you got down to one, the money they needed to be there to help. I mean, $1. They're on the. I bet I got 1 million texts to give Trump $1 over the last few days. If I'd given him money every time he had sent me a text, I would owe the $20 million that Kamala owes for her campaign. I would owe that.
And I have questions not just for our Mississippi GOP. There's people in there that I like, I respect, I think can do a good job. I like like I said, I like a lot of the things that Michael Hurst said.
Yeah.
But I do have a problem with the GOP in general. For example,
No.
while Michael Cassidy wasn't my ideal candidate,
Right.
And I'm not saying which one I voted for between he and Guest,
Right.
but why should the party be putting the weight behind an incumbent over a challenger in a race that's not going to go Democrat?
And the bylaws.
I have a frustration with Richard Shelby out of Alabama, my home state, of him contributing in money and resources into things like the whole thing with Chris McDaniel and Thad Cochran.
Right.
When that whole situation arose, let the Mississippi GOP handle things here, but definitely I don't think it's wise to put your thumb on the scale of one candidate against another just because that person's an incumbent. And don't give me we need to keep electing guys like Roger Wicker because he's got seniority and he's going to be the chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee. I heard that same crap when Trent Lott and Thad Cochran were in office. I remember in the 90s with individuals because they were rated the top 2 pork-barrel spenders in the Congress.
And see, now let's also look at it this way. The common voter in Mississippi, as long as you say, well, we need to keep, when you hear it from another politician or somebody that's in the GOP and they just look at you and go, we need to keep the same people in office because we need to make sure we keep getting what we get. If we would change it out, we won't get what we get. Yes, you will.
Well, I think that's changing. I think that was evident in the fact that Michael Cassidy defeated Michael Guest in the primary. Now, he lost in the runoff, but that was also due to over $400,000 coming in from the National Republican Reelection campaign, flooding into the zone and sucking up all the available oxygen for them to even have an opportunity to get his message out.
And I would believe that Michael Cassidy would have done a great job. I mean, he felt compelled to go cut the head off of a Satan thing in Indiana. Where did he go? Where did he go and cut the head off that thing? I mean, I know that's a little aggressive, but
yeah, I think it was up in Iowa. I wasn't a huge fan or supporter of that.
But what I'm saying is,
tracks from the actual message, I would have advised against it.
But what I'm saying is, if that guy was representing us from Mississippi, we wouldn't miss $1. If he was the guy in Congress for us, we would not miss $1 because that's he's a fighter. He wants to do it. He wants to go forward, and he's moved by the passion of what politics is and the politics of the world and the politics of Mississippi. People don't understand it's all local, and you've got to move here before you can move on the national stage, and we can control everything from here. And we have to, and then when the GOP gets in and starts manipulating the results, and that's what they're doing. I mean, there's a bureaucracy inside the Republican Party that's as bad as the bureaucracy that runs the state of Mississippi, And that's why you can't tell the Republicans from the Democrats inside the party.
Well, it's why you can't get a challenger that can come up and get their message out, because there will be efforts from individuals that feel that they know better, rather than giving an opportunity for the people just to hear from both candidates. I'm a big fan of, hey, have the debate. Get on a stage and debate. Do it multiple times. Let's get the message out there. Not just, the sound bites and the mailers going out, but actually let the citizens hear what's going on. Don't try to shape the narrative by icing out a challenger. Let's hear. It may have come up during the debate between Cassidy and Guest that I would have said, I'm not a fan of Cassidy. I guess I'm going to vote for Guest.
Well, it's like the first thing that happens when you decide you're going to run. Like, for instance, I'm running in Canton for mayor again, and everybody's going to say, Chip, you're never going to win, so why do you do it? Well, there's an outside chance I will win. If I'm on the ballot, I have a chance.
Well,
if I own a vat, I'm fighting.
There's a difference between the citizens saying, Chip, you ain't got a chance of winning. There's no way you're going to win that. And having someone that's in a position within the Mississippi GOP.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The GOP says that. The GOP says
behind the candidate.
The GOP says that. And, that's the same thing they say about anything. It's just like what they told us about Ron Eller. He doesn't have a chance to win. So we're not going to waste any money.
They didn't tell us why is he a poor candidate? Is he not better than Benny Thompson?
Anything's better than Benny Thompson.
You can't win. To me, that's just a ridiculous statement. And if the individual had said that to me, I would say, then tell me why he can't win. He's going to have to give me some substance. And I think he would have stuttered in trying to come up with something.
Well, and it's just sad that, Tate came out, supported him. Haley Barber came out, supported him. Cindy Hyde-Smith and Roger Wicker put money behind him and supported him. And none of the other legislators, the congressmen, people, came out and said anything on behalf of Ron Eller, because they walk in step and worry about Benny Thompson.
I know, and I have no personal animosity against Michael Guest.
Right.
I've been highly critical of him. I will commend him that he does take the time to speak with me and listen and converse, and I truly, truly appreciate that. But I've also been at numerous events where I've heard him speak, and I've not heard him say anything about Ron Eller. I have heard him, talk about the need to, how great things are going to be when Roger Wicker becomes the chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Yeah. Oh my God, that's I would hope that it would encourage Mr. Guest to be a lot more candid. He didn't even have an opponent on the Democrat side.
I know.
There shouldn't have been a dime from the Mississippi GOP for him spent, not a sign, anything like that. All of those resources could have been put forth to an opportunity for Ron Eller to at least make it a more competitive race, if not win.
Okay.
And I know people are going to say, well, then you need to just jump on board with the Mississippi GOP. And no, it's not incumbent upon me to do that, to still be able to exercise my First Amendment right to petition and seek redress. And that includes asking the party leadership, hey, why are we doing this? Or why are we not?
Okay, Chris, hold on the phone. Hold on. I got to take a break. Got to pay the bills. And we'll be back. We're going to talk some more about that on the Jameson Haygood Show, The Good Fight on WYAB. Good show, The Good Fight.
1039 WYAB.
Tri-County Tree Service, the Jackson Metro's premier company to handle all of your tree service needs. Russ Borland and his team specialize in large tree, low-impact removal. Tri-County Tree Service has the right equipment to safely handle the most technical trim jobs or tree removals. Storm damage can happen year-round, so let them clean it up and they'll deal with your insurance claim. Tri-County Tree Service, by phone at 601-TREE-GUY or online at tricotreeservice.com. That's tricotreeservice.com.
Rare coin prices have exploded in the last 3 years. Hard Asset Management, one of the world's largest precious metals and rare coin dealer firms, makes recommendations on what to buy for collectors who know what they're looking for. We can make strong recommendations in areas that we feel have the strongest potential for long-term growth. Call today, 844-426-4653 to receive our free Rare Coin newsletter or register online at bmcham.com.
Hello, I'm Bruce Savini, owner of Davini Equipment, and I want to tell you about our 2 Kubota dealerships located in Madison and Jackson. We provide residents from all over our Mississippi community with durable Kubota equipment and outstanding Kubota authorized service. Our Kubota line includes everything from zero turns to tractors up to 170 horsepower, wheel loaders, excavators, RTVs, and much more. And remember, purchasing a Kubota at Davini keeps your money local to help strengthen our community. So stop by, or to learn more, check us out at DaviniEquipment.com.
For all your gun and accessory needs, visit Guns and Gear on Highway 51 in Gluckstadt. Gun shopping in Central Mississippi will never be the same again. Guns and Gear is not your average gun store. Our goal is to provide quality one-on-one customer service at a price everyday men and women can afford. Whether you're an avid hunter, competitive shooter, survivalist, or just a weekend plinker with friends and family, Guns and Gear is here to meet all your gun and accessory needs. Visit us at gunsandgearms.com.
You could be just minutes away from enjoying a ride on an electric bicycle. Indian Cycle on Pear Orchard Road in Ridgeland has them. Hunting e-bikes, trikes, the kind with 3 wheels. And if you have an RV, make your cycling adventure easy with a folding electric bike. The people at Indian Cycle also repair and help you maintain your bicycle, all types. Enjoy the great Mississippi outdoors and start with Indian Cycle. IndianCycleFitness.com.
When hail strikes, it can wreak havoc on your roof, leaving you vulnerable to leaks and costly damage. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing on your side, you can weather any storm. Our experienced team specializes in hail damage assessment and restoration, ensuring your home stays safe and secure. From minor repairs to full roof replacements, Watkins delivers quality craftsmanship and peace of mind every step of the way. Call Watkins today for a complimentary roof inspection. 601-966-8233 or nomoreroofleak.com.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house is frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Oh my, oh, won't you look at Miss Ohio?
And we're back in the good fight on the Jameson Haygood show. Somebody talking about Ohio women. Let's talk about Mississippi women. But anyway, Chris Hinkle's on the phone with me. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get back to this fight we're talking about Republicans. The state party does not support outside candidates that run on the ballot. That's just period it. I mean, if you're not a known entity and in the group, in the clique, they ain't got your back until you win. Then they'll buddy up to you then. But until then,
I think we've had enough of candidates being supported where it has at least the appearance that it's because they're malleable and they can be told how to vote, or they can actually, act the way that the state party wants them to act, rather than just evaluating them based on the party platform and their support for the Constitution.
I mean, my goal is, okay, so Republicans are supposed to be about lower taxes, right?
Yep.
That's in the platform, right?
Yep.
And recently the Republicans in Ridgeland voted down the Republican mayor, or alleged Republican mayor, for not wanting to add a tax to the food in their area to build a new park, which all they got to do is cut some money out of their budget somewhere and find some money for a park. But they wanted to raise money by taxing the people that were buying food in their town at restaurants to pay for their park. That's not the way. I mean, it's good. It makes sense in a way. You know, what's 1% more? But it's 1% more is what it is. Every dollar you spend, you know, when you go to a restaurant and you're already paying the prices that we have to pay now, why in the world would you try to pass a tax to add to the money situation that it's already going to cost you?
There's bigger things to focus on, and I think that one of the things I would focus on in out of Bridgeland and in the Canton area would be: do we think that the use of or the installation of temporary housing, apartments, things like that, do we think that enhanced or caused problems in the community?
Well, I know.
My belief on that is anywhere you put, anywhere you build apartments and you mass build apartments in an area, you got individuals that are transitory. Transitory people don't necessarily invest their time and energy in the community. They tend to take from the community.
Right. You want them to, you want people that can come to town, buy a house, and live there. Now, maybe a big thing that needs to happen if you're going to have apartment complexes is you must make them smaller. They don't need to be these huge things that 1,000 people live in. I mean, we've got a couple in Madison County that were built and they're in Canton, and 1,000 people live there. 1,000 to 2,000 people. I mean, that's insane. That is really insane.
And it doesn't give enough to the tax base with the schools or the law enforcement that has to respond to things. It is a net negative.
And I mean, it's basically you're building a small town, and you need to have small town security there. You need some kind of jurisdiction. They don't have a voting precinct there, so the people live there, and the city gains no money off of it. They're built far enough outside the city limits of Canton where they're inside the city limits of Canton, but they don't feel a part of Canton. Does that make sense?
Well, I think that, just look at the evidence.
Yes.
Everybody talks about the city of Madison. Madison doesn't have any apartments or anything like that.
Thank you, Mary.
Just build a home or go somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, and and Madison is the city. Madison, the city, is an economical division in that area for people to live. I mean, it's you got to have money to move to Madison. Period. There is no way around it. You got to have a job.
I don't know if you've had an opportunity to converse with our senators about the Trump's nominees. Have you heard any of their leanings one way or another over individuals like Matt Gaetz for VP or Marco Rubio for Secretary of State? I'm even hearing the names of Mike Rogers out of Michigan or Kash Patel as FBI director.
Right. But my thing is yesterday's meeting where Trump and Gaetz and Vance were going from senator to senator to senator to talk to them about what we're going to do. I think they've got this under control. Now, I would be surprised. It would really upset me to find out that the two Mississippi senators didn't support Trump's nomination, but I don't see that happening. I see one of them will do it, but the other one, I never know what he's going to do.
Well, the issue I would have is them using the excuse, well, there's these serious allegations. So it's my understanding that the DOJ and the FBI investigated this thoroughly for over 3 years.
Right.
And they did not find any credible testimony, information, or evidence. And it's hard to fathom that with Gaetz being such an antagonist of DOJ and FBI and directly confronting them in hearings, that they would not take the opportunity to prosecute him if they had evidence.
Well, let me ask you this.
Everybody, in one of my conversations with Michael Guest, who is the chair of the House Ethics Committee,
correct,
I commend him for talking to me. I asked him specifically about Gaetz, and I said, what's going to happen? Why are y'all doing this? And he said, listen, I wouldn't worry about that. He said, I don't think anything's going to come from our investigation. He said the DOJ looked into it and they declined.
But that conversation was before he was fixing to be AG, right?
Well, this just had to do with the specifics of the House Ethics Committee
Right.
was conducting an investigation on it. Now, the reason I was asking Michael Guest about it, I had a problem with it because of the appearance. It made the appearance look like the Guest was working on behalf of Kevin McCarthy, who Gates just ousted.
Right.
And it so close to the November elections, it looked like something that this cloud that would be out there that would cast a shadow over Gates' candidacy running for that office. And again, that's kind of like putting the thumb on the scale.
But my understanding in North Florida, where Gates is, they think of him just like we think of Trump and the rest of the world. You know what I mean? It's MAGA.
Why take the opportunity to dirty him up?
Exactly.
Nothing's going to come of it. Close your case and be done.
Because he is who those people sent to the Congress. And that's what I'm getting at. The people need to pick strong people that they really believe in to go and speak, whether people want to like what they say or not.
And you know what? They had an opportunity if there was something there.
Yeah.
Gates was still a member of Congress. This was months ago that I spoke with Michael.
Yes, I know.
They could have released the report right then and everybody would see it.
Yes.
But now that he is no longer a sitting member in Congress, they can't do that. That's
Right.
the practice of the House Ethics Committee from when it was created.
I saw some old Democrat female on TV that had no makeup on saying, well, we didn't vote on it to decide we weren't going to release it. And I'm like, she said, we're going to meet again tomorrow.
The last news that I saw was that there was a vote taken among the members,
They took a vote.
Democrat and Republican, that they voted not to release the report.
Right.
I don't think that they voted not to release the report just because they're trying to protect Gates. I think that they don't want to set the precedent that, hey, well, if you're going to release that report, tell us about what was the $17 million paid out by the Congressional Fund for individuals that had claims, these settlements against sitting members of Congress.
Well, you also
pretty graphic.
You also have other things that could come out, like the Epstein stuff and everything. You can ask about everything then. There will be no more secrets in these ethics meetings. We're going to just release it all. Boy, that would stink up the pot a whole lot.
Yeah, well, like I said, even though Trump won and everybody's trying to cloak themselves in his victory like they had something to do with it.
Oh, yeah.
It still doesn't negate the need for us to ask questions about why are we doing these things this way. It's similar to the questions that I've asked high-profile individuals in the state of Mississippi. If we're a statewide office, nothing but Republicans, all but one of our federal representatives is a Republican.
Right.
Why are we not a conservative state? Why are we a purple state and not a red state? We're not a red state just because we overwhelmingly elected Donald Trump. We're a red state. We're a purple state because of the legislation that comes out. So if these individuals run on the platform that Mike Hurst spoke of, this conservative, we want conservative Republicans, conservative representatives in office that adhere to the platform. If they run based on the platform and they're elected based on the platform that's conservative, then why aren't they legislating this?
Well, look at it this way. Yazoo County voted for Ron Eller to go in the office. He won there. Okay. And the first thing that you would hear out of anybody that there's more Democrats and racial makeup is probably darker than in Yazoo County than anything else. And the first thing that
Yazoo County for the first time in decades and decades.
No,
for a Republican for president.
Yeah, for the last three election cycles. And by the way, Ron, the Republican won Yazoo County the last 2 years ago. I mean, you've got counties that they want to tell you that Benny Thompson's district is all black and blah, blah, blah. It may be black. It may be black is up from one end to the other. But
yeah, I'm talking about president. Yazoo County has not voted for a Republican for president in decades.
Well, they did this time. They just did. But I'm saying what I'm getting at, and then Ron Eller won that county, but Flowers won it last time. Yeah. Okay. So the situation is just because they're black, the Republican Party doesn't need to look at that area of town and just say, well, we can't win in that area. That is the wrong makeup.
Taking the time to reshape districts so that you can make what you allege that there are people that vote based on their skin color. that you try to manipulate the representative district.
That's what I'm saying.
Include that. That's just ridiculous.
I'm just saying there should be, just like the judges race. You have a northern district, a central district, and a southern. They're all divided up. We could have judges' districts could be the same as the congressional districts, right? Although there's 5 of them, you'd have to cut one of them. You'd go back to 4. But I mean, it's not that hard to divide this state up in a fair way. And this gerrymandering of districts and you're supposed to go with natural lines. Like, for instance, a whole county should be here and a whole county should be there. If Ron had all of Hinds County, might have had different results. Same for Madison County, but they cut out the conservative vote, and they base their conservative vote on I don't know what makes them decide that that's what they want. My neighbor's going to be in our district.
And we could talk for days about all of that, but I think the thing that's incumbent upon the citizens to do now, in addition to what I advocate, which is civilly and cogently exercise your petition to seek redress of your elected representatives from school board all the way up to the White House.
Ask questions, people.
You need to start it it's even more important locally to build that foundation. But at the same time, I think it's appropriate now that the election's over with to start asking some questions about our state party. Okay, what direction are we going?
Right.
Why did we not give me a substantive reason other than you don't think you can win?
Well,
why there wasn't sufficient support for Ron Eller to challenge Benny Thompson?
I mean, exactly. I mean, you've got to get out. You got to get out and support people. And I don't care if there are Republican leadership in the car right now going, y'all just don't understand. Y'all not connected. You're not in the group. You don't understand what we're talking about. Look, y'all.
Why we do understand.
We understand. What you don't understand is that you should go by the book and do things properly. And if it's not set up right, it's not your job just to go, well, we've always done it that way. Fix it. Fix it.
Here's what's very telling. Our state party took the time to endorse a nonpartisan candidate.
Right.
Did not put their full weight behind an actual Republican candidate trying to unseat a Democrat.
Correct. And that is my only issue with that subject that you're speaking on. My only issue is, why are we doing something that is not, and I mean, they sent me all kind of stuff going, Chip, that you're allowed to do this, but you're not allowed to do that when there were other Republicans in the race at the time. And I only know that there were Republicans because they told me there were, but the other side of that, it's a nonpartisan race. You run on ethics, you run on your record, and people shouldn't be swaying that in any way and making it look like you were represented by somebody that it was not put to the entire delegation to decide that you were the person.
Well, we've just got confirmation now. Fox News is reporting Matt Gaetz is withdrawing his name for consideration for Attorney General.
Well, I hate that. Hey, I wonder what there's something else there. They'll appoint him something. But
no, I think he'll have an opportunity to do something. But right now, what's going to end up happening in this immediate aftermath is individuals are going to say, see, I told you there was something in the allegations, and that's why he removed him. And I don't think, one of my friends just my little private sex group was retired FBI agents.
Yeah, the sleeper cell in Madison.
Yeah, I think Trump is, has been basically playing 4D chess, and this was a deflection and all of that. No, Trump's always been pretty forthcoming when he says, this is the person I want. This is the person I want. And he stood behind him the entire time. Trump he doesn't do these things playing 4D chess.
No.
I think he is adamant that we're going to correct some things. I don't think this will take the heat off of, the advocacy of Kash Patel or Mike Rogers for FBI director. I can tell you my personal opinion, and it's not just my opinion, my close group of confidants of fellow retired agents. Kash Patel and Mike Rogers, we don't want either of those in the FBI director seat. Mike Rogers, because he spends too much time cozying up to Marxists like Clapper and actual communists like Brennan. Kash Patel is advocating for some things that are just chaotic and unworkable. You can't say we're going to shut down the FBI and transfer its investigative mission over to the Marshals. The Marshals is like less than 10% the size of the FBI. They can't absorb that. It's reckless to even say something like that. Now, I do have an article that's going to be coming out probably early next week with some day one actions I would recommend for the president in terms of the FBI.
Okay.
And then,
Okay, let's do this. Why don't you tell us where we can find you on X and find your conservative comments?
I'm at the letter B, the letter F, conservative, all one word, BF conservative on X. Tomorrow, I will at about 11:30 a.m. And you don't have to pull your ears away from WYAB. You can listen to it. If you follow me on X, you'll be able to find the replay of it from WBDB AM out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the conservative voice. I'm going to be on there tomorrow starting at 11:30 a.m. for about a 30-minute segment to talk about Pennsylvania politics, Mississippi politics, and a lot of the things going on with FBI and DOJ.
Thank you for calling, Chris. We'll see you gripping ground. Okay. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. We'll get some of this weight off of us, of what we've been going through. We're trying to get a little lighter. May talk a little Ole Miss football. Everybody will want to hear about that. We'll be back on the Jameson Haygood Show, The Good Fight. You'll want to hear about that.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
If you ever been stuck on the side of the road with engine trouble or because of an accident, you know how frustrating that can be. I'm Chad Stevens of Chad Stevens Wrecker Service. We'll help take some of the stress out of this stressful situation. We've been rated by AAA as one of the top 10 towing services in the entire USA. Why? Well, just ask our customers. So keep our number in your cell phones and call us if you need us. 662-755-8645. That's Chad Stevens Wrecker Service. 662-755-8645.
There's never been a better time to buy a Mazda, and the best deals around are at Mazda of Jackson. Mazda of Jackson has hundreds of new and used cars available right now. Check out 1.9% APR for 72 months on new Mazda CX-50s and CX-90s. Get 3.9% financing for 72 months, plus a $750 rebate on new Mazda CX-30s. And new Mazdas include a lifetime powertrain warranty. It's time to choose Mazda. Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson, and MazdaofJackson.com.
CBS News brief. The father of accused Georgia school shooter Colt Gray has pleaded not guilty to charges that include murder. CBS's Manuel Bajorquez.
His attorney said that they would be filing motions in the next several days. Did not specify exactly what those motions would be, but they're asking the judge for time to do that. So currently there is no other hearing set yet on the docket.
The U.S. and Israel have condemned the International Criminal Court's move to issue warrants for Prime Minister Netanyahu and a former defense secretary for alleged war crimes. The BBC's Yolande Nell in Jerusalem.
It calls this decision by the International Criminal Court an anti-Semitic decision. It says Israel rejects with disgust the absurd and false actions and charges against it.
CBS's Kelly O'Grady on a strong October home sales reports.
That uptick in folks buying homes is likely evidence of that brief reprieve in mortgage rates we saw before they started rising again.
CBS News Brief. I'm Steve Kathan.
When hail strikes, it can wreak havoc on your roof, leaving you vulnerable to leaks and costly damage. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing on your side, you can weather any storm. Our experienced team specializes in hail damage assessment and restoration, ensuring your home stays safe and secure. From minor repairs to full roof replacements, Watkins delivers quality craftsmanship and peace of mind every step of the way. Call Watkins today for a complimentary roof inspection. 601-966-8233 or nomoreroofleak.com.
Lewis Furniture has everything you need for your home.
Celebrate with Lewis Furniture during our 15th anniversary sale. Save 15% off everything in the store. Lewis Furniture wants to say thank you to the entire community for your support over the last 15 years. Get free local delivery and free no-interest financing. Celebrate Lewis Furniture's 15th anniversary sale throughout November.
Lewis Furniture and Mattress Gallery. Come home to Lewis Furniture.
family owned and operated.
Highway 80 next to Nukes and Clinton.
Rare coin prices have exploded in the last 3 years. Hard Asset Management, one of the world's largest precious metals and rare coin dealer firms, makes recommendations on what to buy for collectors who know what they're looking for. We can make strong recommendations in areas that we feel have the strongest potential for long-term growth. Call today, 844-426-4653 to receive our free rare coin newsletter or register online at bmcham.com.
When you feel like your business is drowning in paperwork and compliance issues, it's time to call PeopleLease. Let PeopleLease take care of the busy work so that you can save valuable time and focus on what really matters, growing your business. PeopleLease is based in Ridgeland, so you're always dealing with local professionals who will actually understand your business and its needs. Join thousands of satisfied clients who trust PeopleLease to simplify their employee administration. Visit PeopleLease.com. That's PeopleLease.com to learn more.
Oh, yeah. And we're back on The Good Fight. Jameson Haygood Show. Chip Matthews sitting in. This is going to be a quick break here. We're just going to do something real quick here. And I'm going to remind you that the polls are open today. The polls will be open on Saturday. They won't be open Monday. They'll be open Tuesday. So you've got to get out and exercise your right to vote. It would be great to find out that as many people showed up in the general election that we just had showed up again in the primary, but that's not going to happen. It's just not. And one side or the other is going to win this race with basically family members. And, you know, and in looking at a judge's race, I hope it is wrong. If you are a lawyer and you don't go vote, that's just, I have no respect for y'all anymore. Well, I'm getting to where I don't have any respect anyway. But the reality is every lawyer should be at least voting. And it seems like we have a ton of them. So y'all get out, everybody get out and vote. Go vote absentee. You're already at the courthouse. Some of you lawyers, duck your head in there and vote and get the vote in, because judges are important, but so is election commissioners. So then they're the smallest one on the chain with the biggest responsibility. They're the only ones that get the blame when the polls aren't purged. They're the ones that get blamed when the poll doesn't run right, when the people aren't trained properly. They're the ones that get the blame. And when the people are trained properly and still don't do what they're supposed to do, they're the ones that get the blame. and then of course, when they don't like it, it's still required by law for them to certify the election whether they like it or not. Did you know that? That is a law. They must certify the election. So, you know, we got to get work on these laws that we have to help elections and help things. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with a longer segment right after this. And we'll get into this and talk a little bit about that and see how you're doing. Yes, and we'll get into this. And
1039 WYAB.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Due to the recent hailstorm, if you think you've sustained any roof damage, call Blue Line Construction and Roofing. They have in-house insurance specialists that can help you through the claims process. Whether you're in need of a new roof or simple repair, Blue Line can help. Blue Line Construction and Roofing is locally owned and operated. Blue Line is located in Flowood, and if you didn't know, the name Blue Line comes from the owner's time in public service and law enforcement. Blue Line Construction MS.com, 601-398-0355 for a free estimate or inspection.
Hi there, it's Lori
Lori from the mailroom. Of course, you know we offer shipping with UPS, FedEx, DHL, and the Postal Service. But did you know about all the other services we offer? We have stamps, envelopes, boxes, wrapping paper, greeting cards, and gift bags. We also offer gift wrapping. You can drop off your gifts and we will have them wrapped and ready to go. Come check us out. We are south of Germantown High School, north of Gluckstadt Road at 272 Calhoun Station Parkway, Suite C, mailroomgluckstadt.com.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
Tom's Fried Pies. And I made the mistake. I ordered one pie. I figured, you know what? I'll try Tex-Mex. It was so good. Man, second go around, I ate the pecan pie. You will need a meat pie and a dessert one, get both because they are off the hook.
I went to Tom's Fried Pies today, and I'm going back. I tried the taco one, really good. When I go back, I'll bring some home.
Tom'sFriedPies.com. Whether you work at a medical facility, school, office, or another type of commercial space, JanPro Cleaning and Disinfecting understands that every business has unique cleaning needs. So JanPro is equipped to satisfy those needs through every clean guarantee.
Each customized plan is tailored to fit your specific industry and facility requirements, ensuring a cleaner, healthier environment for everyone. Call JanPro at 601-900-3000. 601-900-3000. Looking for farm fresh produce, high quality local beef, dairy, and desserts? Look no further than the Farm Store in Flora. We've got the sweetest, juiciest fruits and vibrant vegetables from Two Dog Farms, plus premium beef, all from right here in the community. Whether you're cooking up a feast or just grabbing a healthy snack, the Farm Store has got you covered. Freshness you can taste, prices you'll love. Find us on Facebook at The Farm Store by Two Dog Farm.
This Christmas, give them what they really want. The gift of blockbuster movies with gift cards from Malco Theaters. Malco gift cards and our new gourmet popcorn are the perfect gifts for making memories this holiday season. Shop online at Malco.com or in the Malco app. Why watch movies on home TV when you can experience movies at Malco? Make memories this holiday season at Grandview Cinema in Madison and Renaissance Cinema Grill in Ridgeland. Buy Malco gift cards online at Malco.com.
Follow your nose to the mesmerizing aroma of Burgers Blues Barbecue Smoker, nestled in their new Flowwood location. Start your day off right with breakfast, served Monday through Saturday, 6:30 to 10:30 at the Madison and Flowwood locations. There's something on the menu for everyone, from juicy handmade burgers to the famous barbecue. Planning a party? Check out Burgers Blues Barbecue Catering or rock your party with the food truck. Take your taste buds on an adventure. It's hard to be blue at Burgers Blues Barbecue.
Yes, it's the Jameson Haygood Show, The Good Fight. I'm Chip Matthews, sitting in for Jameson Haygood. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I hope you all get out and support all of our fine sponsors on this show and on all the other shows here on WYAB. They all are locally owned, and they are good people. And I'm glad that my best friend is a part of that staff. That's before I ever came on air here. I was already advertising here for Acme Pizza. And, of course, we would like to see y'all out there this weekend. Of course, this weekend we have Jamie Eisenhood on Friday night. We have Lauren Lindsay on Saturday night. It'll be great, bang-up entertainment. We'll have the games on their own after 4 o'clock. And we don't open to 4, and we open every day at 4 except Tuesday. So y'all get out and eat, get something to eat. Come get a big pizza or dynamite balls or have some pasta or come get an espresso. I got a new espresso machine now, so got to go get some biscotti today. And then, of course, I'll be cooking up some pulled pork. 24 hours. I'll start today, and I'll cook it for 24 hours with pecan wood. It's going to be great. Come see us, Acme Pizza. But that ain't what I'm here to talk about. I'd like to thank everybody and thank Jameson for letting me sit in for him today. He'll be back tomorrow with the good fight. I know I don't do the oligarch stuff. I just say it like it is. I don't see what we're doing. The Republican Party of Mississippi needs to be more engaged with any candidate in a general election. They need to get engaged to help us find more quality candidates to get on the ballot. And that's in city elections, county elections, state elections. You know, we have to work harder, you know, and we have to work smarter. And when we do have a ballot, let's say there was 3 people that ran against Benny Thompson out of the Republican Party, and we got down to 1. Then we got to 1. He wasn't who everybody wanted, so they just didn't put no money behind it. You know, you can't win that way. And everybody says all these offices, you know, to run for a judge or run for insurance commissioner or whatever, you need to raise millions of dollars in order to win. There's something wrong with that picture. Because let's say, for instance, something as easy as Secretary of State. If Secretary of State of Mississippi has no teeth, if he cannot prosecute anybody, if he cannot do anything but just take notes, then why don't we just appoint that position? There's no reason for them to raise money to run for office. Same for Shad White's job, the auditor. That should be appointed because, and the reason why I say that is because they have no teeth to prosecute. Shad White wrote a book just because he has to ask Lynn Fitch to do the job, and then she doesn't prosecute, and we'll blame it on the auditor, or we'll blame it on the Secretary of State. We'll blame it on anybody but the person that won't do the job. And we need to make sure that top cop in the state is doing her job or his job. These are things that must happen. We must get to where the bureaucracy, as I watch them tear down, take apart the government and say, we're going to get rid of this and get rid of that and get rid of this, get rid of that. Maybe we need to look inside Mississippi and do a little of this ourselves. Because if people don't have, it's like the insurance commissioner says his job should be appointed because he has to raise $1.5 million. And then the opponent will raise $1.5 million. The people giving the money will be the lobbyists. And at some point they will want, oh, well, you need to raise rate on cars. You need to raise rate on houses. There's always political payback. And that's why prices go up and things happen and you don't get justice. You know, we got to get back control of our thing. Ask questions. I mean, in Madison County, that $2.9 million that disappeared, you found some of it. I hadn't heard that you put anybody in jail. They got it in Jackson, got buried in a grave, and an officer off duty ran over him. I don't see any. That girl was on TV screaming last night about justice. She ain't going to get any justice. She's not getting any justice. Nobody's been arrested and put in jail for murder or anything, you know. Oh, well. I've enjoyed being here today. We'll see you back here Monday morning for the Chip Matthews Show. Kim Wade's this afternoon, and then Clay's tomorrow morning. Also, what's his name? Matt Bishop, his show. Don't miss it. WYAB, I'm out of here.